So what was it like to get that first booked thing here in Los Angeles now? We calling you in, you got it.
Oh, my first book thing, I cried. It was like within 8 months. I was the body double for Mindy Kaling, and she was like really big at that time because she had the Mindy show. She was coming off of The Office, and I just remember like being on the lot. I remember getting the call. I remember being in the trailer. I remember being on set. I remember signing the papers. I just remember the lights. I remember the cameras. I remember the slate. It just was like, it can happen. It was one of those moments where I looked around and I was like, I'm only 8 months in this, and it was just a body double, no lines, anything. But I got to sit next to Mindy the entire day. I was her body double, so if she didn't want to do the push-up or if she didn't want to do this, I would come in, but it was me and her. So how she was getting treated, I was getting treated. So I'm like, shoot, this is just the start.
Go get my food. I'm hungry. We hungry.
Yeah, so I remember I had posted it and everything. I was hyped. I was just hyped that was like I booked something in LA. All I needed was one thing. One thing.
How important is it, I know you touched on it, and I only got a few more questions, but how important is it to network as an actor? Because we see, am I just gonna keep going to gigs and gigs and gigs and gigs, and how important is it to really sit down and talk to people, network?
Listen, I wouldn't have half of the jobs that I have if it weren't for networking, especially in Los Angeles. And I don't know how they do it anywhere else, but here, networking is bigger than talent. Networking is bigger than a look. Networking is bigger than talent. If you have built a relationship with somebody, automatically you have an advantage. Working on sets with people, later they remember me. Oh, I remember her. Let me bring her in for this. It's just how this industry works. It is so important. And even like going out and stuff, you gotta go out with a purpose. I'm not saying you need to always be going out clubbing and drinking, but going out and being seen is also a part of the business. Because if your face is constantly circling, then maybe that will spark up a conversation for somebody. Hey, I remember you. I saw you. Yeah, I'm an actor. I'm Dot. What's your name? Oh, you're a casting director? Awesome. Let me slide you my card. Like, it really has just changed the game. And that's something that I did not think was fair when I first came out here. And when people say play the game, that's the game. A lot of people in Los Angeles, especially me, I'm a trained actor. I went to school for 4 years. I'm not about to play with y'all and go out and kiki it up. I have talent. My talent is gonna book me this role. And I quickly learned that
It's never the case. In any field as well. In any field, I notice how important and how vital the networking is. Who do you know?
Right.
And stop playing, like you just said, because we see now, and I'm gonna ask about this, but we see now the transition on social media influence is taking acting jobs. So
listen.
how do you feel about the influence, like the craft of acting or the craft of creating a good movie is essentially taking a back seat to popularity over good quality? How do you feel about it?
Honestly, it makes me sad because the quality of these films and projects, they're not there anymore. But at the same time, because I'm an actor and I am still trying to get to places, I gotta play the game. I can be bitter about it and I can not conform to what's happening. That's not gonna get me anywhere because the time is going to keep changing. And that's just how times go. I remember at first there was like, it's about your following, it's about your posts, it's about this. And I'm not gonna do that until I start seeing people with followings, taking those gigs. And it's like, you can either get with it or you can get lost. I hate it. It's not fair at all. But at the same time, I'm gonna keep up.
Yeah, and we all understand it. You got 1 million followers that put you to do something.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll get it. But that's what I always look at in the craft, because acting is one of those things where talent can be compensated.
Yeah, especially in film and television, because you can do it over and over again, and an editor can make any actor look good. So me having that theater background, there's a lot of stuff that I see, or they're just like everyone's idea of who can act and who can't. I kind of chuckle sometimes because I'm like, you know, they did that in like 50 takes, right? And you know the actor took this clip from that scene and this clip from that scene and put it together and made him look like he was crying, but it was from. So it's just learning that they're two different worlds. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, that's for them, and I know what's for me. Because you could throw me up on a stage and I can entertain an audience of 500 people for an entire hour. Can you put your Instagram actor on stage and do that?
Through all this, let's just say everything, the starting off in Wisconsin to getting to Minneapolis, Howard, all these different things, to being where you are now, going on sets, etc. What do you think was one of the most important things you learned through your career about acting?
Just focusing on myself. Like, don't get distracted by everything that's happening around me. I think that, especially when you're in Los Angeles, you can easily get defeated when you see other people that are getting roles, or people who just got out here and it seems like their career is taking off faster than yours. So now you want to start molding yours to theirs, or now you want to switch up what you're doing because it seems like you'll get a faster response. And what I've learned is that all we have is time. That's all we have. And so if all we have is time, there's going to be a turn for everybody, as long as you stick with it and you stay consistent and that you are prepared when the opportunity presents itself.
Last question is, if you had the opportunity now to go talk to 15-year-old Dot from you now, what do you think what do you think you would tell the young you?
First of all, I would tell her she needs to stop chasing these little boys. and what was I doing at 15?
Let's say acting advice.
I know.
First off, you need to stop chasing these boys.
First of all,
because
listen,
that probably wouldn't have listened either.
That made me not focus, though. That's what I was saying. So, I would tell myself that I'm worthy, I am enough, and everything is going to work itself out.
Thank you for watching A Wise Way. Subscribe to stay updated, share to pass the knowledge, or view our other videos on the left.